With Elden Ring about to come out, and after seeing this gem of a clip.
Look, everybody, it's my pot friend. Come on out, pot friend.
I wanted a little pop boy for me. So I thought it'd be an easy project that would let me practice some power carving. So let's praise the sun and get to work.
Where is it?
I have half a log left over from a previous project, so we're just gonna use that. It's oak, so it is hard as cement, and it's also relatively green wood, so there's a good chance it cracks on us. But since this is a practice project, I'm not too worried about it being perfect. Alexander kind of looks rough anyways, so any imperfections will just mark it up to artistic integrity. I decided the easiest way to go about this was to make Alexander's body first, and then afterwards attach his arms, and I guess that would be his head. I don't know. So that means we're basically just gonna make a pot. So we're gonna round this bad boy out using my angle grinder, and that's looking pretty good. A solid starting point. Let's throw on some guiding lines. I used to skip this step all the time, but now I find it so helpful because it lets me visualize the whole piece instead of walking myself into a bunch of mistakes. Another element I wanted to practice while doing this project was doing things more freehand instead of having cutouts to work with. So I'm going to draw on these lines, not worry if they're perfect because I get a second chance to kind of fix it when I use my Dremel. My whole life I've never been good with a pencil, but there's something different about a Dremel even though you hold it the same way, where I feel way more in control. I don't know, maybe it's because it removes instead of adds, but I like it much better. Now I know I did just say I want to practice freehand, but I'm not a masochist. I'd like to not be demoralized immediately. So this section we're going to trace on. Doing this detail work is so satisfying. It's the immediate gratification of constant progress. And I don't know, I really enjoy this pattern. The geometry of it really just does it for me. Here on the top, we're not going to be able to do any real detail work because it's into grain and it's already cracking like crazy. So we're going to take it outside, make a nice little indentation, take some scrap, and make a piece we can actually work with. We're going to do this quick because it's freezing out here, man. I'm ready for those warm spring days so my fingies don't freeze off. There are definitely more efficient ways to do this, but I just don't have the tools necessary right now. I'm still building out that workshop. So, you work with what you got. This section is going to take the most finesse of the entire project. So I'm using my 3 smallest round burrs because there's a lot of tiny little nooks that I got to get into. Slow and steady is going to be the mantra for this guy. When I look at this, it makes me think of a royal seal, you know, the kind they would put on letters. So I'm trying to make sure there's enough depth variation so it feels like an emblem was just pressed into wax. This is another spot that I had to kind of remind myself it's okay to mess up. I need some slight imperfections. So I can add those imperfections at the end, or I can just do them along the way. I was kind of nervous to remove the Sharpie because I wasn't sure if it was the color difference that was making the details stand out. But once it came off and after a few touch-ups, I was pretty happy with the way it turned out. I have never sculpted or carved a hand or arm before, so this was something new for me. Sticking to the theme of freehand, I decided to kind of just go for it not really follow a template and just see what happened. Obviously looking at my own hands whenever I needed some point of reference. I was planning on having the fingers kind of be a little bit more flat, but when I started doing it, I realized, hey, I could just have them curl over. And that started to look pretty good, so I continued to go that route. I cleared the spaces in between the fingers, started to clear out more of the palm, and I was really happy. I was surprised to see the hand slowly become a hand. Ugh, my poor Dremel. I burnt through like 5 of these sanding wheels on this project. This oak is just so tough. But can't complain with the results. It's looking pretty good. And now that we got both done, let's give ourselves a little hand. Thank you, thank you. We did it. All the separate pieces are done now. We've got the pot, the arms, and the head. Now the last bit of woodworking we have to do is drill the holes where we're going to connect the pieces by dowel rods.
No.
Ain't that just the way? It's always something right when you're about to finish.
A few moments later.
Now it's time to make our boy look extra spiffy and a little disheveled. We're going to start with some linseed oil on the pot and the arms. This is going to bring out the wood grain and give us some really nice color. And if we're lucky, it'll bring out some color variation. That way he won't look uniform and pristine. We want him to look a little dirty, as though he's been stuck in the ground. We're going to use paint for the head. We're going to start with a base coat of red, and then we're going to use a lighter red to hit all of the detail work, and then a darker red to kind of hit all the recesses to show some depth. And then finally, we're going to use an even lighter red to give some variation to the details and also to cover up all my mistakes. For the arms, I thought I could just paint on this like black leopard print, and that looked bad. So my girlfriend gave me the idea to just wipe it off. And I was like, what? And then I did it. And it looked great. I got the dirt out from underneath the nails, and that's a much better effect. Now for the final steps. To add the lifeblood, assemble our monstrosity, and send him up to the roof.
Life! Life, do you hear me? Give my creation life!
Yeah, having Alex as a roommate has been interesting, to say the least. He loves to use my stuff without asking.
Hello? I'm stuck.
Dude, why? He's not exactly a dog person.
Help me. Help. Please, please. Help. Help me.
And he has no real sense of boundaries.
Oh, my stars. I'm so happy to see you.
This was a fun project to make. Please leave a comment if there's another project you'd like to see me do. Oh, and Alex told me to tell you he thinks you should watch this video. Alright, see ya.